All right, looks like we're live on VK, Periscope, YouTube, D
coming
Live.
coming in live to the internet.
Yep. Still not up on Twitch yet.
Isn't it so strange how to go live there's almost like a boot up time?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try and reset Twitch. For those of you viewing in, we're just trying to get everything set up. We're set up on several different streaming platforms right now, and I'm just trying to get Twitch straightened out. So,
Yeah, it's being a little bit twitchy right now.
all right, we're live on Twitch, and one last one. All right, testing, testing. Everyone hear me? Let's see if some of the community can react. Do. All right. So let's kick this off, man. So everyone, this is Wolf of Waves, and as you know, I'm Draith. We're coming to you live, talking about PirateChain, Turtle Network, crypto brokers, the gateway we're building, and potentially more. So, how you doing, man?
I'm good, good. Had a really nice end of the year. There were some quarter 4 releases for some of my projects, and outside of that, it was just overall, pretty warm Christmas over where I am, and normally it's quite cold, so that was pretty nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty damn chilly by me, honestly. So it's like 32 degrees right now. So
Yeah,
yeah, for those who don't know Wolf, actually, how about you introduce yourself?
sure. Hey guys, so I'm Wolf of Waves. I go by Grandpa Wolf nowadays. I'm the lead director of Crypto Brokers, which is an open blockchain business innovations company. So I've been in crypto since early 2015, and kind of like the last 3 years, I've been an active contributor, and for the last two, I've been doing like a lot more project management and like community leadership. So more involved roles and positions with some of these projects that I kind of enjoy, like from a technical level. Most recently, I went down to the Caymans with Draith, House, Lutz, and a lot of the other Core Pirate team members to do my best with them to kind of bring the message of pirate to the real world. During like the Pirate Festival, especially, which was a really epic time. Um, it was just awesome, which kind of brings me to my like first discussion point, which is how crypto brokers innovates. Between the pirate team on site and the Caymans and myself, we kind of like had a discussion about like some of the deficits we saw around there, and some business ideas that we could try and push innovation to help them come to creative solutions while also utilizing technology we have. So we came up with a point of sale system that would be kind of perfect for the Cayman Islands, and we found a lot of expressed interest in it as well. And it would be awesome because we'd have the ability to integrate R like as a default currency. And so basically, neither myself nor Drath own the company PirateChain specifically. I don't own Turtle Network either, but we both share like vested interest in both these projects, and seeing like both these technology platforms succeed together. And the best way to gain adoption is to incorporate it into solutions which are needed on a global or like large geographic scale, or targeting as large of an audience as we can.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. And those are some really good conversations that we had, just discussing, various points that are needed to create all this, and the different steps we would need to take, the different types of developers, and the key portions of everyday life that we could integrate into. So I mean, it was just absolutely fantastic, and the time down there, it's like we bonded all together. It was amazing. But oh, what do we expect this to be done as far as the gateway and things like that?
So, my estimate for the gateway is that, currently we are working with Mr. Lynch, and I have my partner, uh, I am Mortimer, also known as Morty's Node. And, we've been looking at the code, and we've started to kind of put pieces together. So, we should have a working demo closer to the end of January. And once the solution is finished and finalized, it's just a matter of having the asset verified as the actual pirate chain asset with the turtle network. So we have like the ticker, and it's like an official asset connected to the gateway and stuff. So that'll be coming out definitely very soon, within the next like 30-45 days tops. Um, and then regarding like the pirate point of sale, definitely we'll have an alpha ready by like before the end of Q1. I would be really surprised if we don't have a release candidate per se by then. Um, but we'll take it in stride, because we're operating on a lot of contributors' backs, and a lot of people who just have a shared vision with us right now. Um, but both Pirate Chain and Turtle Network teams are accepting donations if anyone's interested. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, because we're community driven, so I mean, we basically run on the community's kindness and generosity. So, and we've
And
come this far based off of just that. Imagine what we can do with real funding, right?
that's absolutely the message
Yeah.
I've been trying to share with my community, and I'm sure we're both 100% on the same page that you know as soon as we do get a little bit of funding, things are going to turn around very quickly for us, and
Oh
it,
yeah.
it'll be a race to the top. It'll be very
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And key thing to note that the point of sale, the full functionality, isn't going to be integrated right away. For example, what we're planning on doing is having it to where with the point of sale system, you can spend your pirate chain, the merchant accepts it, and then immediately gets converted to their native fiat. So if that function obviously won't be in place at that point in time, but to be able to accept pirate chain or say a stable coin in general, that should be implemented during that time.
Right.
So so what else are you working on with pirate chain, man?
So there are like other things that people already know about. So there's the gateway deployment services, which we've already talked about and kind of brushed over, and that's hosted by Crypto Brokers Estonia. And so we worked very hard to pivot to enabling trade on DEXs because we needed a revenue stream to further fund and develop our company. You know, that's how growth happens.
Yeah.
Uh, so, the other thing is that Waves basically has this prototyped contract that I got my hands on and have been playing around with, and it uses ZK snarks, and it uses also the transparent blockchain to basically store the anonymity dictionary sets as aliases so that the contract can sample its anonymity set, like, right out of these giant libraries that are just sitting there for it to randomly sample from. Anyways, it's like super sick. And, the point I wanted to make was that the default fuel for that contract would be, the gateway to R tokens. So, I'm very excited about that. That would give utility to, Pirate Chain, you know, through utility of a gateway. So I think that's a pretty innovative application. Um, so, that's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the cool thing is that what I found was just the different applications that I could never even possibly think of, like when using something like, say, PirateChain, because it's known as a currency, but you can build so much on top of that, you know, just by exactly what you were saying, with the gateway and all that other stuff. It's just insane. It's just things that I would have never thought would have been possible. Seems like it's actually possible, and it's fantastic. So, um, let's see. Can you uh, can you go into a little bit more about crypto brokers and what other things that they do as well?
Cool. So, Crypto Brokers actually was formed out of a restructuring. So, I had been working with Jan for quite some time, Jan Soysal. He's based in Turkey. We worked together on Bit Capital and met during like the Waves platform days. And, I joined up with him a while ago to work on this project called Telex AI when it came out. At the time, I was just a finance manager. And, in early 2018, I came along and said, I want to have a more involved role with the project, and kind of took like a lead developer, lead director style point in that. Um, you know, I also requested to be able to restructure the company to kind of accommodate a bigger future vision. And so what we have is Crypto Brokers is a licensed exchange service provider in Estonia. And that's the holding company for a product line called Arcane Labs, which is on Turtle Network, which is going to allow companies and individuals to come and register, apply for KYC, and buy, sell, trade, security tokens facilitated on the back of Turtle Network, powered by smart contracts and immutability and all that awesome, great stuff. Um, so, additionally inside there, we have like Telex AI. So people are wondering like, how do you have, a KYC service? Well, we, took Telegram Passport, we built it out, developed more features into it, integrated it right into Telex. So, for all these more advanced feature sets, we're slowly taking the subsidiary companies we develop, so the innovative applications, and we do our best to, uh, you know, kind of converge them into as many of our applications as we can and build a very comprehensive ecosystem that, at some point will have white label solutions available to, reach out and, have people come to us and say, hey, we like your service. We'd like to utilize your service, and that would be pretty amazing. Um, Outside of that, I have some game development going on. There's this horse racing game, and if you could imagine crypto kitties met horse racing, that's what this is. You have like these horses with, and you can breed them, and there are like thousands of unique different algorithmically generated horses with different flair and stuff, and you can we bring them to the races and bet with them, and enter tournaments and stuff. And the horses level up, but they have a finite life also. So if you get like a super nerfed horse and it's super amazing, eventually it's going to die. So you have to pick and choose what races you're going to put it in. So it adds this really interesting element to it. But it's not like, like hand drawn art or anything like that. Like it's a totally ground up built game in like the Unreal Engine, which is just fantastic. It looks so great. Um, but outside of that, we're always looking to do our best to enable ease of access for users in crypto to utilize their favorite platforms. That's my favorite thing to do. And so, that's why I jumped so big onto the gateways, because not only does it enable us to branch out to other communities and bring people to us, right? But it also gives us this unique opportunity to slowly kind of become the vision of interoperability just by shaking hands manually and bringing everyone together. So it'll be a very interesting time to see how this develops out, because it's definitely it's an interesting approach. I haven't seen many people in crypto go around saying like, "Hey, let's partner up. Hey, let's be friends. Like, hey, let's find a way for all of our projects to synergize together." Right? People are very
Yeah,
isolatory usually in crypto. They're like, I'm above this or I'm above that. But at the end of the day, like when I look at the cryptocurrency ecosystem, I see an ocean, right? And there are
exactly.
all these fish and krill and all these things floating around, right? Projects included. And you have some that like Bitcoin that are like Moby Dick, right? Or the Kraken, something crazy big that's just there forever, right? But all these other ones are fighting each other, like tooth and nail for pennies, when if everyone teamed up and worked together and found a way to come to standards universally, it would all grow together as a massed whole, like very much faster, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's what I always say about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was supposed to be a collaborative effort among everybody to build up and keep going and make it better, which is being done. But then as time progressed, you had all these other coins come out, and then all these other communities spring up, and then it's just a competition at this point. So you
Yeah.
have all these different privacy coins fighting each other. You have all these, I mean, granted, we try to be on the best terms with everybody, but things happen. You have obnoxious community members that can start stuff, or you have all these other coins like Ethereum and EOS and them that trying to battle it out. Whereas what should be happening is having a collaborative effort among several different communities at least to build something amazing. Because not one community can do it all.
No.
And that's why we partner with Turtle Network and things like that to build something even more amazing than what we currently have. So if we can continue to do that and even partner up with more people or more projects to build even more and go further, it'll help the advancement of adoption for crypto and everything else. So,
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the day, that really is the way forward. And hopefully we'll branch out, and if anything, for communities that are watching this or other community leaders, maybe this is an opportunity for you to step up, reach out to either me or Drath or both of us, or just come say hey to our communities. Like we're very open minded, and we're very innovative. We do a lot with very little.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I like to think of myself as a little stingy in that aspect because if you don't have much, you got to preserve as much as you can. So we try to make everything go as far as possible. And I know your community is the same way, but both of us have such amazing communities that they just pitch in. You don't even have to ask. You just say, "Hey, this is what we're planning on doing," and all automatically you get volunteers.
Yep.
Hey, I can do this portion. Hey, I can do that portion, and sooner than you think, it's done. I mean, for example, with us, we had Pirate operating system, Ghost Ship OS, right? So we figured, oh crap, we got to look for developers. We got to do this. Lo and behold, one of our community members was like, "Hey, I can build that," and we're like, let's give him a shot. So he started building. We kept giving him feedback, and lo and behold, Pirate OS is finally around, and we have our first iteration of it, which is Ghost Ship OS, and and he's continually improving on that. And I mean, it's just community is the most important thing you could possibly have. You can have the best devs in the world, but if you don't have a community surrounding you that's just as supportive, it's worthless. You know.
That
So
Yeah, absolutely. And the Ghost Ship OS is very exciting. We're at the moment in Turtle, we're working on a new wallet. So it would be with a new DEX. So it would be very exciting for us to, when we finish that up, get that to you, and we can get that in the Ghost Ship OS, and people can trade on a DEX over Tor support, right?
That's literally what I was about to say too.
So there's a lot of stuff, and when people look topically, I know we don't have like a formal website explaining all this stuff, but we're doing our best to keep resources like available for people to understand. But there's a lot of things growing on both sides, and they're growing towards each other very quickly.
Yeah, and the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just get it straight from the horse's mouth. So just go to either of our, platforms, whether it be Telegram, Discord, or whatever, and then just ask us or ask any of the devs, and we'll be happy to answer every single question that you have. And I'm in his Telegram, he's in our Discord, so he can reach us at either place. So,
Yeah.
so, and one other question I had, just off the wall, just how long have you been in crypto?
So it's coming up on, yeah, it's 5 years.
Oh
5 years.
wow.
Yeah, got in early 2015. Yeah.
What was the first coin you were involved with?
Well, obviously Bitcoin. But after that, I had this curiosity about trading. Obviously everyone's trying to figure out like what the heck is trading, and I think the first coins I bought were like, trying to remember even the exchange they were on. It's very eclectic, like very small exchange. I'm pretty sure it was like I bought a couple Ethereum. I bought some New Economy Movement.
Hmm.
Maybe Litecoin. You know, I didn't go too wild. I was just trying to pick what I thought might be safe.
Yeah.
The experience I had was actually really bad. So this is going to sound pretty funny. But basically, I bought these coins with the expectation to like hodl them, right? Because Bitcoin had wallets to hodl, and I was like, yeah, I can use a wallet as long as I can exit stuff, right? Like that's the whole point. So I have like 4,000 ETH and many million NEM, like that's worth, today is worth crazy amounts. And I went to download the mobile wallet because in my head, usability was being able to use it on your cell phone, right?
Hmm.
Of course, that's not at all true. But so I have this mobile wallet, and I withdraw the ETH to it, and guess what? It either has network issues or something, but I can't send the coins anywhere, and it freaks me out. It freaks me out, man. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest.
dude, yeah.
So I said, "This is trash technology. I just want my Bitcoin back." And if I bought the Bitcoins back, right? And I did that with each of those coins. And many months after those experiences, those coins pumped, like times 25 or whatever craziness. So
Yeah.
that was my first experience being like, oh wow, okay, that does that. Interesting, very interesting. So I felt like my time in crypto is very much like I was picked up and thrown into a bath of fire, and it still feels like that some days. But it's gotten better after having been in it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Uh, so overall, I enjoy the humor and memes that come out of this, but most of all, I enjoy the work that I do with the contributors. And the other communities in this space, like that makes me the most happy, is like seeing progress at the end of the day. So
Oh yeah. And I guarantee you had the same experience that I did when you finally find a project that you can call your own. You know what I mean? In the sense that like the community that you're involved with, the technology that's involved just impresses you every day. And then you land on such project like I have with PirateChain, and just you're like, okay, this is where I belong. This is what I really want to do. It's like finding your dream job in a sense, Like
yeah,
you go searching around, applying for jobs, looking everywhere. Like for me, I went from coin to coin to coin, mining, trying to be a part of the community. It's like, I'm not really feeling it, or this could be a scam. It doesn't really seem safe. And then finally land on Pirate Chain. I'm like, okay, this seems pretty cool. And then I started learning more, started asking questions, doing research, and then from that point on is the most reading I've ever done in I've done more reading in like 2 days than I have all year. just researching. And I did that for a year straight, pretty much, just on the different technologies and everything, because I was so fascinated with this technology. And then, the community is, like I said, amazing. And then I just got sucked right in and, spent all my time just doing this. And I guarantee you have that pretty much same experience with Turtle Network. So,
Yeah, exactly the same. It's it's actually so great, since I got involved with Turtle Network, somewhere over a year ago, close to like a year and a half, I think. It's driven the most motivation out of me in my entire life. I performed very poorly in college with coding because I didn't have anything to like apply it to, right? And when I finally tried coding earlier this summer, it immediately clicked because I had a necessity that I had to write an application for. And
mm-hmm,
because I had the need, it became very obvious how to apply the solution, right? Because
mm-hmm,
you eventually got to get it right. So, for me, like Turtle Network has been an amazing experience. When I had learned of Turtle Network, it spiritually resonated with me because the technology that Turtle Network is based off of, Waves platform. The technology is amazing. I don't really want to talk about anything other than that because it's not. I don't like it. So the technology was what was taken, and a new community formed, of people that want to contribute, people that want to have, the same shared vision and have a open, community consensus based ecosystem, where people have to actually agree on things before they happen. So that's pretty important to me. And basically the technology base that it uses is like we already have scaling done. Scaling's done. We already have a peer-to-peer exchange. It's done. We have smart contracts done. We have level 2 smart contracts with data oracles, which is like similar to Chainlink. Um, for me, there's a very strong alignment I have with Turtle Network, and it's very similar to what you have for PirateChain. And I think when we first met, that was probably what resonated the loudest between us. Was
yeah,
that like we both have like this shared vision and mission for like the things that we believe in. And I think we quickly realized like we'd be able to, figure out a way to build something and then keep building upon it,
yeah,
and
exactly.
start the Jenga block, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
so and that's literally the exact experience that I had. The same exact mutual feeling. It's just we're on the same level with everything. We understand both what we're trying to do and accomplish because we're trying to accomplish the same thing. You know, and just combining some of the aspects of from each project and building up from there goes even higher. So, one final question before I talk to some of the people that are watching for questions.
Sure.
If you do have questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll see what I can uh, say out loud. um, how big is the Turtle Network team?
So, I have my own team and we work with that team. The team is not tremendously big. It's around there's like I would say probably like 5 to 10 like you know full-time people, and then outside of that it's like maybe 20 including me, my team, some of the contributors, like maybe 25, 30 total, people that are like working on it actively, contributors. But it's we don't have like a ton of funding, so we
Yeah,
can't really reach out and hire people, or so we do what we can. But so far, I think we have a very strong base, and it seems like you guys have a very similar size and strength contributor base as well.
yeah. But
Some 30.
think about this for just 1 second, right? So you said you don't have too many people, but rewind just a little bit. Look at how much you accomplished with that many people.
Of
You know what I
course,
mean?
of course.
I mean, when there's a drive like that, you can accomplish so much. It's ridiculous. I mean, day one, did you really think you could accomplish all that with the resources you currently had? Probably not. Same thing with PirateChain, man. So I mean, it's just the will to go completely drives everything, especially with the community. So, all right, let's see. Anybody have any questions? All right, so Mike O'Connell says, Wolf, can you explain about the gateway and how it will use R?
Sure. So the gateway will use R as an integral piece. So basically, why do we even need a gateway, right? Turtle Network is a blockchain that also has the parameters coded into it to facilitate trading of Turtle Network against any token inside of this platform, right? And so what you can do then is you can have licensed financial providers create gateways. And so what's a gateway specifically? It's a server, and the server has two nodes connected to it, right? One node is going to be the Turtle Network node, and then the other node is going to be the outside currency. So in this case, it would be R. We would have an R full node, or this tech that we're building with Mr. Lynch that'll be somewhat based off of his light wallet, or it'll have some handles taken from some of his code will be utilized in building the acceptance mechanism. And so basically, you send R to this gateway. You specify in your memo, I believe is what we're going to do, the destination. The gateway sees the transaction and then the destination address within Turtle Network. And the gateway will autonomously, right, so on its own, take that deposited R, and that'll go to cold storage. And then it'll take the proxy R that exists inside Turtle Network and dispatches it to you, and then you're in control custodially of that R, which you can then trade against anything, like anything inside of Turtle Network, or you can then withdraw it by sending it back out by sending it to the gateway and then putting in the destination address you want it to go to on the R blockchain. And so yeah, the R token is directly necessary for the gateway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comments, but just no questions.
Cool. I'll have to check those out later.
Yeah, one of them said the graphical front end of the horse racing game needs to look like the Japanese virtual horse racing.
It's very okay. So the graphics on that horse racing game actually, they're like better than the new Pokemon graphics. To just for an example, so it looks really good, and we're definitely targeting like Asia, any regions where gambling is culturally accepted, as well as like just kind of open. Like we're definitely going to target those marketplaces.
Nice. And yeah, just basically a lot of comments on what we've been talking about. So um, yeah, just basically agreeing with the entire ecosystems being fragmented. Um, reading because you've been extremely interested in the project, so you just keep going forward and forward and deeper and deeper. Oh, couple questions. What is your gateway offer pirates?
What?
What is
Sorry.
your gateway offer pirates? Or
What does it
pirate?
offer them?
Yeah. Basically, what is the
Um,
benefit that pirate gets out of that?
you get to trade on a DEX. So we have this peer-to-peer DEX that's that's secure at the blockchain level. It's all resolved by blockchain and code and math and all that goodness. Um, so there's that. There's also the smart contract that I was mentioning, that'll give R a direct utility actually as a currency for a particular type of smart contract. It's let's describe the contract like this. So I can't release directly like too much information about it, but it's a fungibility enhancer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
So R will in essence be driving, some transactional volume, some wallet growth, some driving some real use case, for Turtle Network, and it'll also be providing, an application for your R to be used for in a smart contract. And there are more solutions like the point of sale solution. We could talk about that more in depth as we have some screenshots to show, and some more information about it. I think that would probably be a good time to you know discuss that.
Okay. Um, Emily asks, are there any more collaborations coming between the Turtle Network and PirateChain?
We have that gateway, and the contract would just be kind of like between Wolf and Pirate. And outside of that, I can't really think of anything more we've been working on. But we're always open to stuff. The best part about our communities is that people are vocal. So if you guys have suggestions, pitch them, throw them out. I like to create logic, like flow logic for solutions where those could be turned into code. So if you guys have a really great suggestion for us, like, bring it to us. We're never going to laugh you guys off. Like, we want to hear from you, honestly. Like, for me at least, the Turtle Network community is my family. They hit me up at all hours of the day. Like, I just get back to them when I can.
I know
So
that feeling.
just talk to us, guys. Bring us stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Just because we have a few things that we're collaborating on right now and nothing else in mind at the moment, doesn't mean that there won't be more collaboration later on too. So keep that in mind because there's always whenever there's an opportunity, like Wolf was saying, we'll jump at the chance if it's a great idea. So another person writes, how anonymous is this DEX solution?
So it's not anonymous, the DEX, and I'm not trying to hide that either. Turtle Network is a transparent blockchain platform for smart contracts and all kinds of awesome stuff. It's the equivalent of like having a scalable ETH as your partner. That's basically what it is. Um, you know, there's this fungibility enhancer contract that I did mention involves ZK snarks. So one might make the assumption that there may be some anonymity introduced into the Turtle Network ecosystem. But as we know, opt-in systems, are very far from 100%. But there's some very cool, interesting things. You guys can look this up. The link is tornado.cash. It's a fungibility tool that lives on Ethereum. And that's a transparent ledger, but this does have tested levels of actual anonymity depending on like the set of participants, and you basically involve like time delays, but use the contract to ensure that it's not being handled by a person, it's being handled by a smart contract. So like, okay, if I deposit it here and tell it 6 minutes here, 10 hours here, at each of whatever the movement points, it would listen. And that's the most important part. So yeah, sorry if that was long winded.
No, you're good, man. Is there any common events happening between Turtle Network and Pirate Chain for an exchange of ideas? I could probably answer that one easily, which is we talk every day pretty much. We literally do. So there's always an exchange of ideas. Whenever something comes up, it's immediately said to the other person. So I mean, like Wolf was saying about the Cayman Islands trip. Like we were serious when we said we bonded down there with everybody, and we all got close. Like we trust each other. We tell each other things like as far as our ideas that we can run with, knowing that they won't just go out on their own and do it. You know what I mean? So we have a really good working partnership to just throw ideas at each other and just if there's something good that comes out of it, start building and just start tackling the idea because we have the same motivation. It's just to build up our projects and work together. So,
Yeah.
um, is Turtle Network a fiat exchange
Well,
or
so
fiat on ramp?
previously it was not. So one of the innovations from crypto brokers that I'm really proud to discuss on this is that our first gateway is True USD. Of course, there's a little catch there. We don't service U.S. citizens. My sincerest apologies. Sorry, guys. We're a licensed European exchange. This is what the users in Europe wanted. I'm not sure why they like using USD. Maybe it's just a easy currency to move around with. But either way, so we do have True USD there now. You can deposit it from the ERC20 side and buy TN with it, buy Ethereum, buy whatever is listed on the exchange. It can be cross traded for or with. So yeah.
Yep, and that sucks for me. So,
Sorry, man. I
yeah,
mean, I can't use my own gateway either,
yeah,
technically.
that's true.
Like I don't have any True USD deposited, so a vote for me. I
Yeah,
get to watch. I get to build an aquarium, but not swim in it.
exactly.
All right, cool, cool.
Well, that's it for the questions, man. Anything you want to end with?
No, just once again, I wanted to thank you for having the time for us to, have this Q&A. And, a lot of people have been wondering, like, what the heck is crypto brokers? What's Wolf doing? Like, what is he up to?
Hmm.
So I just wanted to like come out on the record and have like a public statement of like, hey guys, like this is all the things I'm working on. This is what my company is, right? Because many people didn't understand that.
Yeah,
And that's about it. And just really kind of go back and forth with you because we've had some really good camera time before. So
yeah,
it's great to catch up on the airwaves, as they would say.
yeah. In front of a big crowd, right?
Right. Of course. Just like in the Caymans.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
well,
By the way, very
yeah.
excited for whenever the next Pirate Chain event is. You catch me there. And
Consensus 2020. You
yeah,
going?
I have to, right?
I may be speaking, so
Oh, well,
yeah,
I'll be there to catch coins. So
yeah. Oh God, just don't let one hit you in the head. So,
I'll be very careful with that. Yeah.
and for those who don't know about that, just let that sink in for a minute. So, so, all right, everyone, it's great having you. Thanks for watching. This is Drath and Wolf signing out. Later.
Peace.